Overdrive, the effect responsible for the electric guitar's power and intensity. Searching for just the right one can take years and thousands of dollars. You might go through many pedals, sometimes going back to the one you thought wasn't for you. So with Jet pedals and their Lamb analog programmable overdrive, I'm going to show you how this one pedal can replace an entire drive section. Let's get to it. There are many reviews of the Lamb Overdrive on YouTube, so you're going to have no shortage of content to hear how the pedal and its various modes sound like. Instead of a let's hear all the modes kind of video, I thought I'd share how I'm integrating this into my setup, which is a Line 6 HX Stomp TC Electronic Plethora X5 board. I used to have 3 different drives on the board, with the TC Mojo Overdrive for light drive, the TC Dark Matter for crunch, and the TC Spark Booster to saturate either pedal for lead sounds. While this was flexible, I was stuck with the TC sound. Just to clarify, it isn't a bad sound at all, it's just not immediately tuned for the modern CCM worship guitar tone. The Lamb Overdrive, on the other hand, is. At this point, let me declare that Jet Pedals did send this out to me to review and I get to keep it, but they didn't influence what I'm going to say about it. All opinions are my own. Thank you, Jet Pedals, you guys rock. A note about my workflow. I know there are presets on this, 3 on board and many more with MIDI. In case you didn't know, in preset mode, the knobs are inactive, so it doesn't matter where the knobs are at. As an elderly millennial, that's an actual category, look it up, who grew up with knobs and dials, I need to know where my knobs are at. So I'm running my Lamb in live mode. As a blues breaker style overdrive, the Lamb's drive flavor leans towards the King of Tone and JHS Morning Glory, which are staples on many a Sunday pedal board. But 2 things set this apart from the pack. Number 1, adaptability. No 2 amps are alike. Some are pristine clean and only get louder with overdrive, so you need the drive pedal to provide most of the crunch flavor. Others crunch out beautifully when driven hard, so you need the drive pedal to give a hefty volume boost and a mid bump without much drive color. That sounds like you need 2 drives for different amp setups, but the Lamb Overdrive covers this with selectable modes. I basically have a 2-pronged approach to the Lamb's modes. If the amps in the preset are Vox style that sound better with boosts instead of distortion, I use the cyan or the yellow circuits. Cyan is the default one that comes out with lower compression, and yellow is the circuit with the highest headroom and volume, so those circuits let the amp's distortion shine. If the amps are on the other end of the spectrum and need help with overdrive flavor, that's where the white circuit comes in. Okay, so that's clean and crunch covered. What about crunch to lead? That's where the Lamb has a secret weapon up its sleeve, and the second reason why I think it's leaps and bounds ahead of other drives. Number 2, functionality. There is a lead boost in the Lamb Overdrive which does not add significant gain, so your clarity remains intact. Double tap the preset switch to engage it, and you know it's on because the preset LED is flashing, and then single tap it again to exit. It's such a simple add-on, but it makes a drive pedal that much more usable, and the reason it can replace all 3 of my TC drive pedals. Instead of 3 slots reserved for drive, I just need 1, freeing up my other 2 slots for a noise gate and the Tunable Audio Immerse Mark II. Caveat emptor. But there's one thing about this pedal which you need to be aware of, and it's something that might be a deal breaker for you. The gain and volume knobs are not granular, they're stepped values. Here's what I mean. If you prefer granularity in your settings and want everything in between, the Lamb doesn't give you that option. I actually prefer this style as it's faster to reach a desired sound. I personally think you shouldn't be spending an inordinate amount of time moving infinitesimally between 4.5 to 4.55 on gain to balance that against 5.65 to 5.7 on volume. Just pick one setting and move on. I hope I got that word right. I'm going to say it again. Infinitesimally. Infinitesimally. In sum, the Lamb can replace your entire drive section with selectable circuits to suit different amps and a lead boost to cover the various shades of clean, crunch, and lead in your rig. If you'd like to get a Lamb for yourself, I have a coupon code that you can use at checkout, so don't forget to copy it from my description box and pinned comment. It works for everything on the Jet Pedals website, so if you're in the market for the worship sound, head on over there. If you want to see how this board was put together, I have an upcoming rig rundown video that explores the sounds possible with this setup, as well as one I made documenting my pedal board building mistakes. See you there.